Hey, it's Video Guy 316, also known as Doug, and today I'm feeling lucky, and it's deja vu all over again. Stay tuned. So today we got a couple of things we're doing. We're going to do a VR for Eric over at 4 Leaf Cards. Eric has asked us to do a tabletop showing of some cards. So we're going to do that. It's just a fun VR. And then next we're going to do a VR for Dan over at Old Sarge Collects. So Dan is celebrating 300 subscribers. So it's deja vu all over again because Dan just recently celebrated 200 subscribers. His channel is growing. So many new friends on that channel. Great channel. So we're going to do a VR showing our two favorite Major League Baseball teams and the origin story as to why we like them. So I'm going to turn this camera around. We're going to start with the tabletop, and then we'll move into Dan's VR. So here they are. This isn't a tabletop, but it is my desktop. The tabletop had too much glare. But here we have the 1969 Nabisco Team Flakes cards of Rose and Seaver. This was a set of 24 cards issued in 3 series of 8 cards each. I got these in the early 90s out of a quarter box. So yes, I only paid a quarter a piece for these. I didn't know what they were at the time. I didn't find out till a couple years later that they were actually the 69 Nabisco cards. So they're supposed to have a gold or yellow border around the card. And so these, of course, are missing most of that border. But I'm happy to have these, and I just recently rediscovered them in my collection. So I thought it would be a perfect time. The backs are blank on them. But again, just really happy. 1969 Nabisco Team Flakes card. So thanks, Eric, for having this VR. We're going to move into Dan at Old Sarge Collects next. Now for this next VR, we have to go all the way back to 1982 when I first started collecting. Now, my friend Scott, who is still my friend today, got me interested in the Cubs. We used to watch the Cubs on WGN with the Harry Carey and Steve Stone broadcast. And so this next card represents that time period. And that card is the 83 rookie of Ryne Sandberg. Now this card was pack pulled. It just brings me back to those times when Scott and I played basketball up at the church gym. We hung out and just had a great time, whether it was playing baseball in the backyard, Nerf hoops down in his basement. We just had such a great time, and this card represents and reminds me of those days. As you can see, here's the back of the card. But again, Cubs were my first love, and it's because Scott enjoyed them. It was one of Scott's favorite teams. So as his friend, naturally, I was going to like the Cubs as well because we had similar interests. So this card, again, pack pulled back in 83, just reminds me of those days and the first Major League team that I really loved, and that was the Cubbies. Now next, I'm going to go into Scott's other favorite team, which is his favorite team to this day, and that's the New York Yankees. So this 84 Topps Mattingly rookie represents that time as well. Scott also loved the Yankees, still does love the Yankees, and recently picked up a Reggie Jackson signed baseball, so which is pretty cool. I was with him at a card show a couple weeks ago where he picked that up, so it's great. Again, this card, not pack pulled, but had to buy it later as an adult because I could actually afford it now. So it isn't a 9, of course. Can't afford the Gem Mint 10 version of it. But again, it just represents that time. Yankees fan. I continue to be a Yankees fan to this day, the same as my buddy Scott. And so This card represents that period. Now, as we move through, the reason I've continued to be a Yankees fan is because of this next player. And this next player represents just a great time in Yankees history, in current history, and it's the Derek Jeter rookie. This card was pack pulled. I pulled it myself out of the Topps pack. I was so excited to get it. Man, you know, that excitement when you pull something just can't be equaled, you know, in the card world. So I just was so happy to get this. I'm happy to have it as part of my collection. I don't think I'm ever going to get it graded. It's just perfect in its current state. And then what I really loved is I pulled the next card too from a pack. So I pulled this rookie card as well. Happy to have both as part of the collection. Man, those were the days. Now, we're going to be moving into a new era for the Yankees here. And it's the reason I continue to be a Yankees fan is because of this next player. I just love him being newly appointed captain, great teammate, and a just phenomenal player. And this card of Aaron Judge, his rookie card, I pulled this from a Chrome pack, and again, very excited to get it. It is one of my favorite cards. I had this graded as part of my only submission to SGC. Now, as I was getting it out of the case, it fell, and of course it cracked. So that just didn't make me shed a tear, but man, I was very disappointed in that. But at least it didn't go all the way through. It just has a minor crack on the back. But again, Aaron Judge, one of my favorite players on my favorite team, and it just has continued. It started in 1982. It has continued to today. And I know there's Yankees haters out there, but they really are my favorite team, and it's because it all started with my friend Scott. We're still friends to this day. We work for the same company. I don't get to see him as often because we don't work in office anymore, but every chance we get a opportunity to get together, we do. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next video.